So my name is Jim Pfendler. This is my wife Sally. We're going to tie the Pfendler fly for you. It's a pattern that I developed in 2006 fishing for steelhead when the water is real low and clear. And it's meant to represent an emerald shiner, which is a main food source for steelhead in the lake. So Sally, we start off with our materials. We use a hook size 10, 93-95. It's a straight shanked hook, straight eye. Olive green thread. We're going to use olive super hair or unique hair and unique polar unique or super hair. Then we're going to finish off with Flashaboo. So Sally's tied up the fly. To this point we've got the thread wrapped around the hook shank. She'll take the unique hair and split it in half, wrap it around the thread, and then tie that down for the belly. The ratio is about 2/3 polar to 1/3 olive. And years ago when I was tying up the Erie Sports Show, I tied with Bob Clouser, and his rule of thumb was take your material and cut it in half again. So the key to this fly is keeping it thin enough so that you can see the hook shank. If it gets too bulky in that, it doesn't really represent the emerald shiner real well. When you see them in the stream, they're almost translucent that you can see through them. She's tied on the bottom belly hair. Now turn the fly over, and she's tying on slightly longer top third. It's a great fly for beginners. It's a big fly, so if you got thumbs and whatnot, they're pretty big. It's easy to tie. That's why I like it. And it's very effective. At this point, she'll pick some of the olive hair, wrap it on top, and tie it down. And then once she trims that, we're ready to use our pearl Flashaboo. We use that for the lateral line on each side of the bait fish. Again, she'll cut a piece off and wrap it around the thread. So a nice way to do it, it locks the super hair or the Flashaboo right to the fish. This size fly, the emerald shiner, is probably about 1.5 inches long. It's a very small fly when you, or a bait fish when you actually see it. If you've bought emerald shiners for bait, they're just a small little thing. And so that's about the same size that we tie them in. It's about 1.5 inches long. This is actually the streamer fly. Another version we tie is a Clouser version. It has the weighted eyes. At this point, she's ready to do her whip finishing. Now that she has both the lateral lines tied in. There you go. You can put them down. They're a 3/16 eye. A lot of times I'll use a toothpick to pick it off the paper with. Place it right onto the head. I used to use a 5-minute epoxy, and we switched to the blue light glue. So it's a clear cure glue. If you have a rotary vise, it's easy to pull that glue around with the toothpick, even it out. Once you've got the glue spread out, then you can go ahead and hit it with the blue light to cure it. The little eyes magnify with the glue, so they're a good target for the fish just traveling through the water. A lot of times a predator fish will be using those eyes as a target, something to go for. So I think it's worth the extra step to put the eyes in. At that point, it's all done. So that's the streamer version. We'll tie a clouser version also, similar to this tube fly, this is just missing the hook. We'll use Spirit River, size 1/8 eyes for it. And the way we'll fish the flies is normally we'll tie on the clouser fly and then add another 18 inches and fish the two of them, swing them downstream with about 18 inches between the fish. Usually, a lot of times if you got slower current, this fly will be bouncing along the bottom and the streamer fly will be in a different column of water, so you're fishing two different columns of water. We'll catch about 8 to 9 fish on the streamer, and the other ones usually will hit the clouser. So just depending on where they're holding, it's a nice way to present both flies.